time to watch some good old YouTube. I don't remember the channel page looking like this. It looks strange.
Welcome to my channel!
They look really off. This is uncanny how much this
Is like them?
What?
Hello Internet! Welcome to LARP Theory! Now today we're talking about LARP channels. We've both seen them, right? Those channels pretending to be or emulating 2010 to 2016 YouTubers in appearance and style. I mean, he looks just like Markiplier! So this trend has recently blown up on the internet. But why? Well, that's what we're here to uncover today. Revealing those juicy secrets that just can't stop your fat, sweaty meat sticks from pressing that enticing thumbnail. So LarpPat, he made his debut video, "Your next favorite Let's Player is here," back in June of 2026, which absolutely blew up, raking in over 100K views. That's a lot of Ks! In making this video, he started a wave of new YouTubers, LarpTubers. Before we continue, let's understand what is a LARP YouTuber. Well, the term LARP originates in the 1970s, standing for live action roleplay. The term LARP has changed throughout recent years, meaning the act of impersonating, commonly being used as an insult to people who have only seen memes or clips from a series, but haven't seen the entirety of said series. Though the original term for LARP does work under the context of these channels. Live action roleplay is exactly what these channels are doing. Role-playing as their favorite YouTubers, then recording themselves and slapping it onto YouTube. So, why did LarpPat's style work so well? Throughout the last 2 years, YouTube and frankly the world has felt less creative and more dull/uncreative. With the release of generative AI in late 2022 becoming more and more advanced, so-called creators have been pumping out low-effort cash grabs on YouTube, and slot machines have never been easier. Here at the LARP Theorists, we hate AI! Hate it! They call me LarpPat for a reason! Suck my LARP, AI! With this, YouTube has been pushing AI videos since late 2025, only stopping because of public outrage. The people were sick of it. They wanted to go back to the public consensus of the golden era of YouTube, 2016. These LARPers came from the sky and gave people exactly what they wanted, a taste of the past. Thank LARP for this Deus Ex Machina. Now let's dive into some of the LARP YouTubers. LarpTubers. To see how similar they really are to their 2016 counterparts. The LARPing Tombstone! Starting their career with a smash hit banger, Thick of Hit. Thick of Hit is quite genius if you think about it, using the popular trend of pairing the Thomas the Train cover of Thick of It with Kyoko Kirigi's execution scene from Danganronpa, and remixing it in the style of Living Tombstone. During 2016, Living Tombstone was putting out songs such as Five Nights at Freddy's and FNAF 2's It's Been So Long, the style of which LARPing Tombstone emulates shockingly well. Case in point, in Thick of Hit, the song says, quote, "I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows. They know me where it snows, ice get in and it froze. I don't know nothing about no ice, I'm just cold. 40-something milli subs or so, I've been told." This is how the story goes. Amazingly delivered lines absolutely butchered by the KSI cover. They've also released 2 other videos, being a remix of popular memes or trends. And don't think we'll forget the Stan character joke at the end of LARPing the Rooms, Are you implying the living tombstone is playing a character you're forcing them to play? We're on to you, the quote-unquote LARPing tombstone. Let's cycle back to YouTube and why people are so nostalgic for the past of its content. YouTube was at its highest user count from 2016 to 2020. 2016, it was full of unique and entertaining content, with YouTubers like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and PewDiePie at the peak of their careers. Then in 2020, COVID happened. Since people were stuck at home, watching consumable content was a great way to pass the time. And the one place there was to watch entertaining content was... drumroll please... TikTok! Creators like Charlie D'Amelio and Bella Portia completely changed the public's perception of content. Now, instead of putting your sweat, blood, and tears into a beautiful edited masterpiece, you can now make a short 15 to 60 second video and post that straight on a TikTok. With how successful TikTok was, YouTube decided to roll out the YouTube Shorts, making it even more accessible to make short-form content. A lot of YouTubers switched to the new content format. YouTubers that stuck to strictly long-form content had their viewership decrease due to less users watching long-form content at this time. Now, this is evened out in the modern day, but we are still facing the effects from the surge of short-form content. And with the classic channels posting a lot less, flat out retiring, feeling like they've done enough and wanting to move on to other things, or feeling that the effort they put into their content isn't worth the output of views, it's safe to say people just miss the feel of content that was made in the 2010s. This is the reason the LARP trend is becoming more of a community. These LARP variants making their own fan base that just wants to click on some videos and watch content that feels like the same stuff they'd watch as a kid. So I've spoken of how similar LARP YouTubers are to their 2016 counterparts. So let's dive into how similar they really are. Let's start off with the first.
I was the first.
No, not you, Chica. I'm talking about LarpPat. He's made videos that are incredibly similar to 2016 Markiplier. For example, the intro for LarpPat's Escaping the Prison is almost exactly the same as Markiplier's from 11 years ago. Same goes for his reactions to choosing the right answer and for each of his deaths. Now let's move on to Señor Pelo. Or should I say, LarPilo. Their voice and art style is awfully similar to Señor Pelos. A good example of this is Spongy's show, which perfectly recreates the aesthetic and so-so dialogue of Señor Pelos' Moki's show. So back to nostalgia. While you'd think that nostalgia is just your brain tricking you into falsely remembering the good old days, it's actually a response to the present. When times are stressful or unpredictable, your brain uses memories of when things were calmer and makes them seem even more grand than they may have been. It makes you optimistic and look on the bright side of things. These LARPers have utilized the nostalgic style and heart of these old YouTubers to make us feel even better, like a JoJo-esque universe reset for the big tube. These LARPers are artful creatives who were able to recreate some of the heart and soul of classic YouTube, making inspired content without rehashing slop or using AI. Well, some use AI, but they're trash anyway. So, in short, LarpTubers are a community of their own that creates a community of nostalgic viewers. I mean, no need to LARP a dead horse, but there's no shame in watching fun LARPTubers when it's chemically and literally the same as the genuine article. But hey, that's just a theory, a LARP theory. Thanks for watching.